Viva la raza! I am not cool enough for that.
No, you gave it a go, Sam. I was trying to go with you.
I felt white immediately.
I did as well.
That's so awkward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I tried to work with you.
Yeah, thanks. But the fact that you then started doing the shimmy, then I felt really, really oh dear.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Sam's on Wrestling, and this is our power ranking series. This series where we take a wrestler, female wrestler, or a tag wrestler, and we give them a score out of 10 in 10 different wrestling categories. We then combine our two scores of 100 together to give an overall score out of 200 and see where they place on the overall leaderboards to see who is the greatest overall talent of all time. We're in the tag team ranks, and after 20 years since Eddie Guerrero has passed, my favourite wrestler of all time, I thought it was only fitting that we power rank Los Guerreros. Probably Eddie Guerrero's most famous tag team.
Oh, yeah.
Part of the SmackDown 6. It's Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero with the initial lying and cheating stealing gimmick. The initial lowrider stuff all started here. Los Guerreros, Sam. Now, obviously, you aren't watching wrestling at this point. You're such a baby.
I was 2 years old.
You were when they started?
So, wouldn't have been too into it at the time. However, I did.
You've watched
back
all
in
of
the
this.
WWE Network days. I literally had time in my hands, which would be a lovely novelty right now. However, I did watch the big SmackDown 6.
You've done the whole of it, so
I loved it.
You have as much knowledge of this as probably I do, weirdly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I in doing this, I thought I didn't think I'd rank them as high as I have. But then you go in each category and you're like, yeah, really good. They're actually really, really good, even with Chavo Guerrero. Well, I do like, but not the same level as the other five, is he?
Look, see it this way, Sam. I'll tell you a little secret that you don't know. I came up with a top 10 list. The top 10 essentially is about people who are great wrestlers who you just don't care about. And Chavo Guerrero is on my list. Yeah. But let's find out how we look at Los Guerreros. But before we do that, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's go find out where we are going to rank Los Guerreros. Tag team wrestling ability, their ability to do moves in the ring. Sam?
I've got 9.
I have gone the full shebang.
Have you?
I think
they're incredible.
I think as a pairing, they literally were. It made Chavo something. Yeah. I've watched Chavo beforehand and after, and he was solid. He was decent, but Here, he got to be a part with Angle, Benoit, Edge, and Mysterio, and didn't look massively out of place.
Agreed.
And everything they did, the tag team moves they had, the combination moves, the smoothness, the fact that they were dressed the same as well, it didn't feel like Eddie was massively above Chavo as well.
Agreed.
When Chavo returned, it was a big deal. I just thought every single thing they did, wrestling-wise, is immaculate. There's nothing I could take off them. I just looked and went, that is how you wrestle as a tag team, because they have high flying, they have technical, they could play heel, they could play babyface. Immaculate wrestling ability. Couldn't mark them down for anything. What was your mark off?
Oh, Chavo, man. I think
he's a good wrestler.
No, he is. No, it's still a 9.
And it's a tag team.
You have to understand that 9 is really good. Maybe I could go 10. I think when I started this, I was like, I kind of didn't want to go all 10s because to me 10 is a very big deal.
And I put them in that category.
Yeah. So fair dues. I think for me it might be like a 9.3 or 4. Like it's getting close.
That's fair.
I just think for me
they made me care about tag team wrestling.
Yes, they did, and I think only because I'm thinking of them in the frame of the SmackDown 6. To me, they are, and this is not an.
They are the weakest of the 3 wrestlers.
The weakest of the 3.
But I would also put them very close to the 10s on those as well.
No, yeah, agreed. So I've just gone 9. They could be 10, but they were superb.
Their storytelling, the ability to tell a story in the ring, to build those moments, as well as any storylines that are happening around it. 10. 10. Of course it is. They were lying, cheating, and stealing in the ring.
It's incredible. Like the shenanigans that they can do as heels, but they also can work body parts. They can look scared. They can do everything storytelling.
They built stories so beautifully. The fact that everyone was caring about Angle, Benoit, and Edge and Ray, that they were kind of the leftover 3, and then they were like, oh, actually, hang on, no, we need to put these on equal footing, and they were superb. Everything they told them, there's nothing to say. They generally, to me, are just how I would do a tag team of that style. The fact that they can be high flyers and technical, they're just perfect, and then throw in what is one of the best gimmicks in wrestling history on top of it. They worked beautifully. It's just, if you're talking about wrestling, there's nothing to talk about here. Awesome. 10s across the board. Their promo ability, their ability to talk in the ring. Sam.
8.
I've also gone 8.
Yeah, they're still really solid. It is Chavo.
And Eddie hasn't quite hit the main event level of talking yet. Eddie was always a good promo, but he became an exceptional promo, and he's just here, just on the verge. But it's the vignettes of the line sheets. It's so funny. They're talking. So, and I know that's slightly different than a promo, but it's the way they're talking. They're making laugh. It's Chavo's best promo.
Got great chemistry as well. They've got great dynamic, clear dynamic as well.
Yeah, the uncle and nephew thing. I honestly, every time they talked, I was like, this is good. And it worked with the heel stuff. And it actually, and people will go, well, are they that good at promo? This is why Eddie Guerrero became a main eventer, because of the promo and the comedy work and the lying and cheating scenes. So you can't take down the promo work, but you can because of Chavo. We move on to their look, their attire, how they present themselves. Sam, look.
I've got an 8.
I've got 7.
Have you?
Yeah, I for me, they wore mainly, it was like the blue trousers sort of thing like that. And I thought that was kind of it. They had the line cheated steel shirt, and it was about it.
I was more thinking the vignettes. They had like very different like kind of costumes and attires.
Yeah, and I take that in consideration, but that was just the vignettes that were 3 weeks long. And then what were they wearing? They were just kind of in blue. I don't think Chavo really even changed his gear, to be honest. I think Eddie just matched his gear.
So I
thought Eddie's gears got a bit more dull. Yeah. But they matched together, they paired together, they looked like a tag team. They and you're right with the gimmick stuff. I just, for the look compared to other looks, when you compare it to like Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys and even the Dudleys, which are like incredible looks, I just went, yeah, it's a solid look. And actually, I was on the lower end of 7. And you've gone for 8.
I'm on the lower end of 8, but again, partially that, part of the aesthetic. I know it's not them specifically, but the lowrider is part of the aesthetic.
I put that into the entrance, not a
I've
look.
also put it into the entrance.
I don't put it as a look.
But again, when you see pictures of them, it's
and
a
then
prop
low
that they have. So to me, I kind of factored in a little bit.
I will allow it.
Well, I'm so glad you're allowing it.
Love Eddie Guerrero.
Exactly. I'm glad you didn't disqualify me from doing that.
Yeah, 0.
Yeah, exactly. Just change my score for me. Thanks.
I do every single time.
Yeah, when you work out the maths, you just correct my score, so I don't know.
I literally just dub you over and you go, I have scored at 8. You know, like Japanese dub.
Is it? Am I even?
You're there going, 7.
Am I AI generated? Do I exist? Am I real?
I couldn't find another Sam. You died in 1993. You're a figment of my imagination.
I was an opponent for Kevin Nash in New Japan back in the day. That's a niche reference. I hope you watched that TNA series.
I really do as well. Yeah. We move on to their entrance. How do they come down to the ring? Sam?
9.
Oh,
well,
you're
I think
just
it could be a 10.
wrong. It's a 10.
Could be a 10.
As a tag team entrance, we've talked about how tag teams actually, what we've been famously finding out is tag team entrances are the worst entrances in wrestling history. They come in a friggin' lowrider with a cool song that got them over. They bounced. It's just a 10.
Okay.
It's just a 10. So much so that Eddie Guerrero... I wanna know what it's 10. I'm just going to throw this out there. When the Shield broke up, Roman Reigns kept the song and the entrance and everyone thought he was a loser. Eddie Guerrero kept the song and the entrance and he's great. That's how good this entrance is.
He did get a different song eventually, didn't he, with his Viva La Raza song or something like that?
No, it became slower when he became heel, that's it.
I know, I'm pretty sure it was a different song, because trust me, I've got both of them. I've got a big wrestling playlist on Spotify.
I know you do.
Yeah, and you've got a Viva La Raza, which is Eddie Guerrero's theme, then We Lie, We Cheat, We Steal, which is their other theme. And I think it is slightly different. And I think this one is not quite as good as his other theme.
I'm going to have to listen.
That's why I've gone with a 9.
I'm going to have to listen.
I think the lowrider, probably could persuade me to put it to a 10.
Put it to a 10.
It's to a 10.
Yay!
What have you done?
I'm trying to rub off the 9. It's just stuck on there. Come on. Yeah. 10. Yeah. We move on to their work as a heel, Baddy Baddington. Sam?
I've got this wrong.
Have you?
I've got 8, but I think it's better than 8.
Oh, wait, I've got 10.
Yeah,
they are a 10 out of 10 heel tag team that they were the main heels of the SmackDown 6.
May have got that wrong.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd bump that.
So, for you.
That takes that to a 10. There we go. No, I just think as a tag team heels, they were immaculate, so much so that it got too good. Like, I know that can sometimes we talk about dropping it down, but it's like, no, that's how good it was that they literally did a gimmick that the idea was we're going to openly cheat. And everyone went, yay! I was like, oh, I don't even think they realised it was going to get them over as babyfaces. I thought it was a great idea to just openly cheat and lie and do all that things and get away with it. And it's too good. This heel stuff was phenomenal. So much so that it turned Eddie Guerrero face and they had to turn back to heel again. It was a bit like, honestly, this is heel work in those 1 year that they did it before turning face, awesome. Absolutely awesome. We were just talking off camera as we go into our babyface. You don't think of them as the greatest tag team, but this is what happens when we do these sort of things, when you break down them into individual scores. We're not going, who's the greatest? And people go, oh, Shawn Michaels the greatest, or whatever. Either. What happens when you break down every facet? Who is the greatest? We're not saying who's the greatest here. We're saying who's the greatest overall talent, and that's what we're looking at. So we move into their babyface. Sam, I gave it a 7.
I gave him an 8.
Because they in the same way that the heel work stuff really worked, the babyface didn't, because it meant that Chavo couldn't do it.
Yeah, Eddie could.
Eddie did. You got to remember, Chavo got injured in 2003, and Tajiri took over, and they were kind of baby faces, and then Eddie turned on Tajiri, and they went back together as a tag team. And everyone was like, no. And they turned it like 3 months later again, because Chavo turned on Eddie 3 months later.
Yeah.
But it didn't work them as a babyface because of Chavo, hence why it only lasted about 5 months.
Yeah, if there's anything Chavo can't do, it's be a babyface.
It's just not a babyface. Hasn't got the voice.
No, the only good babyface thing I've seen him do is when he entered the Rumble in 2011 and did all the Three Amigos spot. That's a spot.
It's not just a spot, it's a tribute to
exactly.
the person who's died.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought they missed a trick on actually making him an amazing babyface after the Eddie Guerrero thing, but I thought they just put all their eggs into Rey Mysterio instead. Kind of correctly so. But yeah, it's the babyface stuff didn't work with Chavo, so much so that Eddie went almost single pretty much immediately, so you can't rank it highly. Eddie is so good in that babyface role that you can't not ignore it. Yeah. You think about him attacking the Big Show with the sewage. That's all part of Los Guerreros, even though Eddie Guerrero's doing his kind of singles run. It's still a part of the tag team stuff because Chavo's the one holding the ring. Good fun. So you can't say it's rubbish, but it's not to the level of everything that's been talked to. Yeah. But oh my god, the fact that we're saying a 7 is such a low down mark. Says everything about Los Guerreros. And this isn't biased for me, Eddie Guerrero being my favourite, by the way. This really isn't. If you look at that and you go, yeah, probably, yeah. We move on to gimmick and personality. Sam, why are we even bothering having a conversation when it's lying, cheating, stealing? If you haven't got a 10, you're an idiot.
Yeah, it's 11, Sam.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the best gimmick that started here, and Eddie Guerrero took it to new heights. Without this, it doesn't go to new heights. It is one of the best gimmicks in wrestling history. Yeah. And it started here, and it was great as a tag team. And the thing is, though, what made it really work that we don't talk about is Eddie did a lot of the comedy cheating. Chavo did a lot of the real cheating. So the other time that Chavo would hit someone with a chair or with the belt and stuff like that, or would help Eddie do a little thing, or Eddie would do the silly, it worked so well. And they're full of personality. So much personality.
This is what people have to understand. And I rant and rave about this like an old man. And you know what? I don't care. I'm going to rant about it temporarily again. Everyone goes on about Eddie Guerrero for his wrestling, and rightly so, it's fantastic. But there's a lot of people currently who can do the stuff that these guys do physically. Yeah. However, what made them good, what made them good wasn't the fact that they did a smooth, like, top rope planche or whatever it was. That's good, that's part of it. It's the fact that they got it. They got the psychology of why they were doing this. Like, it's so simple, and yet it just makes everything. That's why he's remembered. I've just picked Mustafa Ali out of my mind for no reason. I don't have anything.
We have decided to ridicule Mustafa Ali
for no reason. Like he's probably a great guy.
Hang on.
I went into my category of like flippy people, and he came out there.
I'm holding. There you go.
Mustafa Ali can do these. Mustafa, mate. Okay, I'm going to cut a promo on you. You might not know what that is, but.
Do you remember Retribution?
No, I do. Yes. God, sorry, mate. You're probably quite good.
You're really nice blind guy.
I think you.
I've seen you interview.
Quite good. You're all right. Yeah.
Hang on. Here's Ricochet.
There we go. Ricochet. You bald man. Right.
Don't that's his gimmick now.
Oh, is it? Oh no, it is because it's not. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. You can do all these moves really nice, and they look really pretty. You know why you're not like the top main eventer that you think you should be? It's because you don't have the personality psychology in the ring that Eddie Guerrero had, and know the fundamental reason of why you cheat, why you should be a heel, and why things happen, and why you do the moves at the times you do them. That is literally the basis of everything that these guys do, and it's phenomenal, it's fantastic, and that's why we're ranking them really highly. And when we do your power rankings, mate, your gimmick personality, I don't think it's going to be an 8.
Well, it's higher than it was before. I'll give him that at least. But anyway,
True.
Bye Ricochet.
Sorry, Ricochet.
10.
He's just flipped and landed on his feet.
Damn it! Damn it, Trevor! Damn you, so athletically talented. We move on to over and a draw. How much money they brought in, how over they were with the crowd. Sammy, darling.
I'm going to go 9.
I've also got 9.
Because it's not quite 10, it's not quite Hardy Boys level.
If you compare it to the noise, I know Attitude Era, but this is just off Attitude, so the crowds are still hot. And even compare it to a New Day or an Usos maybe, I don't know if they ever quite got that 10 out of 10. Because Eddie was too big for them to actually probably get the momentum to do that. They literally lasted pretty much a year and a half, if that. If you think about it, they started around when the SmackDown tag titles turned up. That's when they kind of kicked off together. So we're talking, let's go October 2002, might be a little bit beforehand. And they ended in pretty much just before January of 2004. So we're talking this is a year and a bit run. And Chavo was injured for a few of it. So I don't know if we can ever say that they're a 10 out of 10 over or even a draw.
No, because they're not Hardy Boys level if you really think about it. Like, people cared and they got over it, they got reactions, and especially for a tag team.
And they cared for Eddie more than Chavo.
Agreed.
In fact, the more I say it, the more I might actually have to give him an 8 for the over stuff, because I think it was Eddie who was over and not Chavo, and you could tell it when it ended. Chavo kind of floated in cruiserweights, just being in the...
No, of course.
Yeah, actually, no, I'm going to go 8. I think I'm going to change my score, which hurts me because I love Eddie Guerrero. But I think we're saying Eddie Guerrero is probably super over rather than that.
I'll still go 9.
Okay.
It's a low 9.
Yeah. You'd always end on a finish. Now, Sam, they didn't actually really have a finish. They usually would end on a frog splash or a cheating move. And it has to be and we made a rule about the tag team finisher that if you didn't have a tag team finisher, you could only get a 5. Now, they did have one, so they can score highly. It was this kind of weird backbreaker, neck breaker, top rope thing. It's fine. They never ended on it for a reason.
Yeah.
I've looked at it. I've watched it. It's a 5 out of 10 finishing move.
I gave it 6.
And that's fair.
It's disappointing when you think of the two wrestlers.
Come up with something cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really disappointing, but there isn't actually much to say about
I
it.
guess a lot of the matches they won were through shenanigans.
Because they were heel.
The finish would be shenanigans.
And it always was. I really wish that we could do that, but we said it had to be a finisher, and we agreed the tag team finisher, so that's the one they had, so it's not very great. So we go to the overall score. Sam, what have you scored? Los Guerreros.
88.
Which I think's your highest score given so far.
2 fat ladies.
I think you have given the 2 fat ladies there. I've got 85. I think my finisher in the overdraw just dropped it down. However, that gives them an overall score of 173, which has put them, and it's been a while since we had one of these happen, into first place on the leaderboard. They are one place because you ranked the Hardys really low.
Yeah.
If you remember.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, if you really think about it, are they as good as wrestlers as the Los Guerreros?
It's such a... they're 1 point between them. Yeah. I generally think if Eddie Guerrero and Chavo had actually wrestled for a year longer as well, I think it wouldn't be close. I also think Hardy Boys are really lucky that they got a part of the 3. But at the same time, I would want to watch this match. I want this match. Let's
ladder match.
Let's find a video game where they're all 4 of them are on there. Which one was it? Here Comes the Pain? Oh no, Jeff got removed from Here Comes the Pain.
SmackDown versus Raw.
Shut your mouth. There must be on Shut Your Mouth.
Oh, how rude. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, there will be. There's got to be somewhere.
We'll do it. We'll see what happens. We'll just let them play it.
Yeah,
we'll
just watch
it
them.
and use it. Thank you very much for joining us. Los Guerreros have gone into first place. It's been a long time since we've had a new leaders. The Hardy Boys have been leading for a while. I think we did them in November. I think it's been a year since we did the Hardy Boys.
I assumed they were going to have a monopoly on this thing.
I thought they were going to have it for a long time, and I'm excited that Eddie Guerrero has gone to the top and Chavo. Thank you very much for joining us. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Put your scores for Los Guerreros in the comments, please. We want to actually see your scores as much as ours, because I would love to be able to see what the fans think. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next time. And I'm not going to do a Mexican accent or anything like that. I'm just going to end the video nicely and calmly. Viva la raza!